You only get one chance to say it, so you'd best make it count. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 uses of the F word in non-R-rated movies.
Ron, I've got to fire you.
Well, I've got to fire you. Bing, bong, bong.
You're fired, Ed. Do you even know what you just said? Oh!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most entertaining, startling, and memorable instances of the F word appearing when it otherwise wouldn't be allowed. For obvious reasons, viewer discretion is advised.
Get the off my porch.
Sounds good.
Number 10. Storytime, Billy Madison.
This puppy was the happiest puppy in the whole world. In fact, his name was Happy.
The story of a man-child forced to repeat every year of grade school, Billy Madison isn't the kind of film you'd expect to feature a ton of cursing, even if it is an Adam Sandler joint.
And when I think of you, Linda, I hope you choke.
Its hilarious F-bomb is dropped, surprisingly, while Billy is retaking the first grade. Storytime turns into a rant fest as Billy takes issue with the book his teacher, Miss Lippy, is reading to the class.
If your dog is lost, you don't look for an hour and then call it quits. You get your ass out there and you find that dog.
We gotta say, Miss Lippy's reaction to Billy's rant probably mirrored that of most audience members. Sandler's been no stranger to the F-word since.
Wow. Imagine if her husband was here right now watching that alcoholic hose bag dry hump her ex.
But he's never used it quite as successfully as he did here.
I think it's time to play dodgeball.
Number 9. The Rock isn't here to make friends. Fast 5.
All right, listen up. The men we're after are professional runners.
After 4 Fast and Furious movies, audiences were beginning to want something more than exhilarating, blood-pumping car racing sequences. The introduction of Dwayne Johnson's Agent Hobbs was a good way to shake things up in the franchise's 5th installment. Case in point, his no-nonsense DSS agent delivers the film's one F-bomb in a way that lets us know he means business.
Sorry to hear about the loss of your Ming. Is all this really necessary to apprehend Hu Ming?
The scene perfectly outlines what we should expect from Hobbs, from his very specific list of demands to the somewhat startling request that closes it out.
Stay the out of my way.
Number 8. White gets his just desserts. Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
Spare me. I won that tournament.
Chuck Norris has achieved a lot in his career, like winning fights against bears. Plural. However, one lesser-known thing he's done is cast this tie-breaking vote.
Thumbs up, Average Joes can play.
Vince Vaughn's Average Joes were allowed to play against, and win over, Ben Stiller's super team in an epic game of dodgeball. While Vaughn's Peter gets the girl and the prize money, Stiller's White goes on a junk food binge and dons a repellent fat suit. Gains some weight. In the film's final scene, he laments his loss. His use of the F-word is both repulsive and kinda shocking. We didn't know you could say that about Chuck Norris and live.
Chuck Norris.
Number 7. An honest greeting card. 500 Days of Summer.
Has something happened to you recently?
What do you mean?
It's been said that relationships can be creative fuel. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Tom finds that out the hard way when he falls in love with Zooey Deschanel's Summer. A trained architect turned greeting card writer, Tom's devastating breakup with Summer leads to a decline in his output at work. One card in particular leads to an intervention with his boss, played by Clark Gregg.
Look, I don't mean to pry, but does this have something to do with Summer leaving?
The payoff here is fantastic. From Gordon-Levitt's general disinterest to Gregg's nervous energy and pitch-perfect line reading, an anti-joke has never come across quite so well.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You whore.
Number 6. The HapHapHappiest Christmas. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Nobody's walking out on this fun old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
Christmas time tends to drive everyone a little nuts. From gift shopping to putting up with relatives you only see once a year, we can all admit that we're happy when it's over. Chevy Chase's Clark Griswold articulates this exact feeling in a less than family-friendly way.
We're gonna press on, and we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye.
Chase's put upon Griswold has had enough of his family's unwillingness to embrace the Christmas spirit and gets them on board the only way he knows how, by keeping everyone trapped inside the house. His profane tap-dancing reference only goes to show that this won't be a traditional family Christmas.
You're goofy. Don't piss me off, Art.
Number 5. A sensible reaction to Ryan Gosling's bod. Crazy Stupid Love.
Take off your shirt.
Why?
Please, will you take off your shirt? Because I can't stop thinking.
Ryan Gosling is a hunk. Why deny it? While he can play romantic, cool, calm, and collected, He also knows how to be a convincing player, like in Crazy Stupid Love. He plays up his image here, which explains Emma Stone's character's reaction to him removing his shirt.
Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
As someone who, up until this point, has been actively trying to resist his womanizing ways, Stone understandably becomes flustered when she accepts the fact that Gosling is the proverbial full package. Stone attempts to see right through her potential suitor's methods and moves, and the F-word is the only way to get that across.
Now you take off your dress.
No.
Yes.
No way, not with all that going on. No, thank you.
Number 4. Wacky Bruce. Bruce Almighty.
And now let's go live to that wacky Bruce Nolan out at Niagara Falls.
Hey, Wacky Bruce!
We've all had bad days at work. Maybe you missed your morning coffee, or someone's gossiping about you at the water cooler. However, it's unlikely you've reacted quite like Jim Carrey's Bruce Nolan. Following the news that he's been passed up for a promotion in favor of Steve Carell's Evan Baxter, Bruce doesn't take it so well.
Let me just add another congratulations to Evan Baxter. It is good to see what someone with real talent can do when great opportunities are given to them instead of me.
This particular F-word follows one of the best showcases of Carrey's knack for zany physical comedy. It's essentially the cherry on top of a man going completely bananas.
I'm Bruce Nolan for Eyewitness News. Back to you.
Number 3. Getting meta, be cool.
You and me, we come out to Hollywood, sniff the air, and now look at us, man, we made it!
At this point, you might be wondering why we're only counting down non-R-rated movies that use the F-word. In this scene between John Travolta's Chili Palmer and James Woods' Tommy Athens, the two friends discuss honesty, or rather dishonesty in their line of work, with the former also explaining his feelings about showbiz specifically.
Do you know that unless you're willing to use the R rating, you can only say the F word once?
You kidding me?
No. You know what I say? That. I'm done.
This F-word is great because it directly looks at the reason this list exists in the first place, and then completely subverts it in a very funny, very unexpected way. Maybe John Travolta should explain the ins and outs of the film industry more often.
Yeah, like I got hustled into doing the sequel.
Number 2. Ron Gets Deceived. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight.
It's no secret. Will Ferrell's Ron Burgundy is kind of a dolt. All his newscaster friends are dolts. But despite his lack of common sense and people skills, Burgundy is driven by his passion, reading the news. So when Christina Applegate's Veronica Corningstone upstages him, he sets off a prank war. One that culminates in Ron being tricked into saying one of the words you generally shouldn't say on television.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go f*** yourself, San Diego.
The aftermath of the prank finds Ron in, well, a glass case of emotion. We, the audience, immediately realize the severity of Ron's mistake, and all because of one single word. Maybe some of that Sex Panther would have kept his head on straight.
It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Oh, would you like to hear me tell a joke?
Yeah, we'd love to hear a joke from you.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go f*** yourselves.
Tell us a little bit about the war, man.
War in Vietnam? War in Vietnam!
Martin, as the President of the United States, this comes with the full weight, power, and authority of my office. You.
Number 1. A potty-mouthed cameo. X-Men First Class.
No, that won't be necessary, although I'm sure it'd be magical.
We were thinking more. We'll show you ours, if you show us yours.
So this probably isn't shocking to anyone, but we'll start this entry by stating the obvious anyway. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is not exactly the warm fuzzy type. James McAvoy's Professor X and Michael Fassbender's Magneto learned this the hard way in X-Men First Class. When approaching Logan to join their scrappy team of mutant misfits, they get a succinct, characteristic response.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Charles Xavier.
Go yourself.
Although this wasn't the last usage of the word in the franchise, as we've seen in Apocalypse.
Who the are you?
It certainly gave audiences everything they loved about a fan-favorite character in just a few short seconds.
Tell me where your boss is, or you're gonna die!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.